If we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have taken part with them in shedding the blood of the prophets. But in your actions, you now and will reveal that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets. You serpents, you brood of vipers. How will you escape being condemned to hell?
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord on high. His train filled the temple, yonder throne up in the sky. Seraphims crying, holy, holy. Oh, how high and lifted he. Dirty lips cleansed by coal from heaven. Now my sight is free.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Supernatural Truth Late, y'all. I'm your host, D. Doss, and I'm joined again by my good friend and brother, the good Dr. David Roach, also known as the Red Pill Preacher. What's up, brother? You're muted. There we go.
It's some shenanigans going on here, bro.
Yeah, some demonic shenanigans, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. Look at what we're talking about. So tonight is The Madness of King Trump Part 2, Perpetual Warfare. And that's what we're looking at. The ceasefire didn't last, 9 hours?
It was almost immediate.
And the ceasefire was not with Iran. It was with the Prime Minister. The ceasefire was negotiated by the Prime Minister of, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Field Marshal of the armies of Pakistan. Iran had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, we're forced now because of America's inability to keep commitments over the years that we make with foreign powers to have to resort to intermediaries to do talking between us and other nations. It's really quite something, bro. I've not that the predecessors of the Mad King didn't do this exact same thing. I mean, we can go take this all the way back to every administration has done this to some degree or another. It's just now the Mad King is vocal about it. Bro.
Absolutely.
Just openly, not even attempting to obfuscate his hand at all. We really need Jamie Lannister is what we need.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Speaking of people that are vocal, there's a big swath of the juice box community, especially their religious leaders, that are openly calling him the non-Jewish Messiah, the non-juice box Messiah. I'll try to stay on those words because, YouTube's really pegging on it because there is an actual mandate out throughout all social media outside of X that even saying the name of their people will get your video flagged and taken down. So they're going pretty.
Yeah, the Edomites are going to do what Edomites do. Right?
Edomites. There we go. Exactly.
That's right. The Edomites, the Khazarians, if you will.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
we're in a mess.
Go ahead, brother.
As we're in a mess. We've been calling this. I hate to say it, but we've been ahead of the game on this one, brother. I mean, from months ago, saying that this was going to transpire, And there is no stopping it. Let's just say, hypothetically, let's just say in the morning we wake up to the headline of we have reached a permanent peace deal. There's not another bomb flying, no more missiles, no more conflict. It's irrelevant. People don't understand the amount of infrastructure that has been destroyed in these 6 weeks that's going to negatively affect the global economy. And that is, I believe, its designed purpose to do it.
Oh, absolutely it is. They're forcing the Great Reset. They're trying to get us all on this digital currency. You have to destroy the old system for the new system to boot up. And that's what we're looking at. When you take that 20,000-foot view, it's not about the juice boxes. It's not about the heathens over there that we're fighting right now. It is about implementing a brand new one world system. And the old world, like those old world countries, have to go away because they're the biggest threat to this new world order. We've heard every last president, every last one that I can think of, talk about this new world order. Now this one's talking about the golden age. What was the golden age? The golden age was Lemuria, Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Indian, the Vedas and the
your Shangri-Las.
Shangri-La. Yeah, that's it.
Technologically advanced and spiritually advanced civilizations that had the same technology, which was far surpassed what we have now, but use more pure elements to gain that, like the black mirrors you see in the book that, I don't even want to say the name of it, the book that denotes King Solomon's taking over of these demons to build his temple and do other tasks. It talks about him talking through a mirror to a place that's far away to another king. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're looking at. They called them mirrors back then. We called them computer screens and cell phones. Right.
I think you're referring to the lesser and the greater keys of Solomon is the word you were looking for. Yeah, you're exactly right. The esoteric nature of this aside, let's break it down to brass tacks for people for the fleshly side of things, the immediate reality that we all live in right now. Yes, we are spiritual beings, but we have a fleshly body that requires things to sustain itself. And it requires a very fragile civilization to be held together. That is all coming apart. It's all coming undone. And people, unfortunately, be they Edomite or Ishmaelite, if you want to use the other side of the coin.
Ishmaelite, yep.
The Ishmaelite kingdom and the Edomite kingdom, this is all being played out just like Pike's letter to Mazzini, which was taken down from the British Museum in 1972. It's all happening in front of your face. This is written down. It's the third great peril that he spoke about. Is happening right in front of our eyes. Right in front of them. And there is no stopping it. They can say peace deal. They can say ceasefire. Hell, the Edomites it didn't take them but several hours to break it. This morning, they bombed 100 civilian targets in Lebanon. 100. That's war crimes. Civilian infrastructure is war crimes according to the Geneva Convention. This country, our government, and I say our governments, not the people of the United States, but the government of the United States is guilty of war crimes, horrendous ones, and not just under the Mad King. It goes back under every administration going back at least to Kennedy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
100%. And we've not won
we're the American Empire, though, so we can get away with it.
Now, I don't think this time is going to happen.
I don't think
eventually, And the Persians, which is effectively what the Ishmaelites are, these proportion of the Ishmaelites, these people have been around for 2,700 years compared to our 249, which we haven't hit 250 yet, which is in July. And the America that stands in July of this year will not be recognizable. I will promise you that. Things are escalating now so rapidly and deteriorating so fast on a daily basis that you're not going to recognize the place that we've grown to love. It's unfortunate, but that is what it is.
And we were going down a road that it's very, very hard to come back from. I want to read, if I could, real quick, for those who don't know, the letter to Giuseppe Mazzini. Both of these gentlemen were Illuminati members. The following is a letter that Albert Pike wrote to Giuseppe Mazzini in 1871, folks. Now keep that in mind. Regarding a conspiracy involving 3 world wars that were planned in an attempt to take over the world. The Pike letter to Giuseppe Mazzini was on display in the British Museum Library in London until 1977. You'll hear a lot of people say this letter doesn't exist or it's fantasy. I've actually found a copy of the handwritten letter on the university archives of the Ohio University, University of Ohio. They have the actual photocopied letter in the online archives in their library, which is crazy. So Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary leader of the mid-1800s, as well as the director of the Illuminati. Albert Pike, of course, historical Masonic figure, was a 33rd degree Freemason, occultist, Grand Master, and the creator of the southern jurisdiction of the Masonic Scottish Rite Order, and also the person who started the Ku Klux Klan.
Sure.
So, here are our 3 world wars. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agentur, or agents, of the Illuminati between the British and Germanic empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. That happens. That's history, folks. Mind you, this man's writing this in 1871. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. Zionism wasn't even a thing back. I guess it existed among the juice box aristocracy, but it wasn't anything to be worried about. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which is crazy. Anyways, and then Christendom, which would be then restrained and held in check until the time we would need it for the final social cataclysm. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. This war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits, I found that awful interesting, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement that will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Now, folks, what's really curious about what I just read you, outside of this man in 1871 writing about what we're dealing with right now in 2026, is that the nation state of Israel was formed in 1947 at the behest of another, I would say, Illuminati member named Lionel Rothschild. Am I right about that, brother? So you have one Illuminati
right.
member predicting 3 world wars. You have another Illuminati member years later implementing the seeds that lead us to today. That's pretty interesting.
And just think about it. 1917, the Romanov dynasty conquered by the Bolsheviks. That's World War I. Then you have World War II. We're only a little past 100 years from World War I. Think about that. I mean, yes, it started earlier than that. But people in 2013 were still around, were still alive from World War I. They were born then. This is not a huge window of time we're talking about. This is a vapor, as the Bible says in James, that appeareth for a little while and vanisheth away. I mean, it's not that long. They've accomplished all this in such a infinitesimal speck of time. And as we see things progressing now, bells that can't be unrung, and things in motion now, there is no pumping the brakes, as I explained earlier. Let's just say the Strait of Hormuz opens tomorrow. Whoop-de-doo. Where are you getting the oil from? The refineries are destroyed.
Yeah.
Where are you getting the oil from?
Bro, that, and you can't turn a blind eye to the complete and utter devastation that Iran's been putting on Israel, bro. They've been hammering Israel like an old nail. It's not being covered, but that's, unfortunately, folks, for you American Zionists, it's happening. Iran's been spanking them like a kid who spilled grape juice on an Easter dress. And Bibi Netanyahu's dead. He's deader than shit, if you ask me.
I think so too. And even if he's not, it's irrelevant. Even if he's not, they got a mandatory evacuation order in Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah.
Issued by the IDF. This is on social media. Now, they got a complete death grip on information coming out of there. But you just look at the faces of the reporters that you see in Tel Aviv when they come on and do the live. They look like they've been held at gunpoint.
A lot of them have.
They look shaky. And a lot of them probably have.
I mean, because they've been arrested, and allegedly some of them have been killed for even trying to cover some of the stuff that's taking place before this crisis started. So, yeah, they don't want any information leaking out. They don't want to be perceived as weak. But guess what they are? I mean, your star city is getting leveled.
Yeah, with Operation Epstein Jury. That's what I call it. This is what forced Trump's hand. He's in bed with these people. He is in bed with these Edomites and has been for a while now. Let's just call it. From Miriam Adelson and all these people funding his campaigns. And not to mention all these people on the Forbes list miraculously shorting oil days before he starts doing these crazy megalomaniac tweets. Somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something.
You understand? I mean, his own son made $30 million in 24 hours. Think about that.
Well, think about the fact that he said that he flat out said, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We're going to make a lot of money. Who was he talking about? The people paying $5 at the gas pump?
What people don't understand, it's not just your gas prices, people. Okay, so gas here, right around the corner from us, let's just say it's $4.21 or somewhere like that a gallon.
$4.39,
okay.
I believe. Yeah.
You're paying over $4 a gallon for gas. But that has an effect not just on your gas pump and your wallet at that particular location. Look at your grocery prices. Look at your home energy prices. All these things are skyrocketing, and they're not coming down. Do you know that for the first time today, it came out today, 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound is the equivalent. It's more by so many cents than the federal minimum wage.
That's crazy.
Wrap your head around that.
Well, you've heard me lay out the scenario before. Yeah, you've heard me lay out the scenario before, bro, and where these trucks roll up from the government. They're the ones giving you your food, and you'll be happy to have it. They're collapsing the dollar as we speak so they can introduce that digital currency. And then that's when the stimulus that he's been talking about since his last term, that's when people are going to get that stimulus, is when they roll out this digital currency during his third term.
Well, you see today the ships that are passing through the Strait of Hormuz are getting told $1 a gallon on the oil by Iran. That's the equivalent for one tanker is $2 million per ship.
Right.
And this is the kicker. The toll can only be paid in the Chinese yuan or the Iranian currency. That's it. They're not accepting the petrodollar. Wrap your head around that.
Which is the American dollar, which oil is traded in all around the world, folks. That's what keeps us the superpower.
Was it 5 or 6 months ago I told you? I don't even know if I did it on air, but I know I told you privately. What did I tell you the petrodollar was? Dead. Didn't I tell you it was dead?
You did. So this was coming regardless. Look at the world. Look at the wars we started to preserve it. Not just stop something like this from happening, but to preserve it so that no other country lifts up their currency that'll be backed by gold, like that was going to take place in Africa and the Middle East under Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. Now, the bell's rung, and a great shift is taking place.
We haven't won a war since World War II, and we only won that one because the Russians got involved. You think about it. Korea, lost. Okay? Vietnam. Lost. Desert Storm, lost. Iraq and Afghanistan, definitely lost. And now, losing now. These places all have something in common. We always depose some kind of boogeyman, labeled the dictator a boogeyman, whether it be Saddam Hussein, Omar Gaddafi, whoever, one of some of these mullahs, whatever you want to say, it's always a boogeyman we have to depose. And Syria, Bashar al-Assad, these places all had something in common. Well, I know we've said this before. These places had no central bank.
Right.
They had to go.
Cuba, Venezuela. Yeah.
Cuba, Venezuela.
No central bank.
Right.
No central bank that's run by the one in England. because they all are ran by
That's it.
one in England.
And guess who? People ensures the shipping routes and the individual vessels going through the Strait of Hormuz. Guess what company does that? Lloyd's of London. Imagine that. Isn't that happenstance?
This is just like the Opium Wars, bro. This is the Opium Wars 2.0.
Sure. My friends that were in Afghanistan, it was in the unit that I was with, they were guarding poppy fields. They were guarding poppy fields to help the heroin trafficking ring. They call it the Golden Triangle. That's what the U.S. Marines were doing in Afghanistan, was guarding opium fields.
Yeah,
Out of my
I know
friend's
that
own mouth.
I know that from family members that were over there. So that's the truth of it.
Yeah, it's the truth of it. Now you've got Aegon the Terrible over here. That is, he's losing his shit, folks. He's got into a position. Yeah, he's got into his position of his own doing, because he would not stand up against his puppet master, Bibi Netanyahu over here. Okay, the Edomites, and he was forced into this position.
Well, they got blackmail material.
Yeah, yep. Of course.
Yep.
But now that it's not going so well, he got a bunch of bad intelligence from the Edomites intelligence agency over there, saying,
it's the greatest in the world.
Yeah, supposedly. Greatest for themselves. They probably came in there and said,
exactly.
It's going to take you like 2 days, Donnie. We'll be out of here. Zip, no problem, right? They'll overthrow their
they're afraid of you. They're afraid of the United States.
Yep.
They'll take any threat that comes from you seriously. They'll fold like a lawn chair. I can just hear Bibi Netanyahu in that old gravelly voice.
They'll fold like a...
How do you have to do, Donnie? Yeah. Exactly. And, that bolsters his ego because he's modern day Caesar. Bro, you know what I was thinking about earlier? You remember that movie that we were talking about a few months ago? I don't know if you ever got a chance to watch it, but it was called Civil War. And the Civil War started because a president stayed in office for a third term, and it split the nation. And then Texas joined with California, the most red state, the most blue state, against the northern states that were loyal to Washington. We've been conditioned. We've been conditioned for this, man. We've been conditioned for the collapse.
Well, there's a book out there called Controlled Demolition. It's a very good book. You might want to read it. It forecasts all this that's happening right now. This is the controlled demolition of the American empire. And you think historically, I'm just going to quote history. No democracy, no republic has lasted 250 years. Not one.
Not the Roman Empire?
Not one. They fell apart.
The Roman Empire didn't last 200. Yeah, they were never conquered, but I think they lasted more than 250 years, bro.
No republic or democracy has lasted 250 years. Rome was an empire. Just because you have a Senate, yes, on paper we are a democracy. They were an empire in reality.
We're an empire in reality. We have 800 bases around the world. Like, we're an empire. And this empire is being, honestly, the financial leg of the table's being kicked out from under. And we're not going to be the strong empire that we were before if this isn't handled. So, and I told you, I'm not going to say what I told you off air, but the threat that he made, it would almost be better for the American people if he would have made good on it. He already looks like a weak madman. Because everything he's telling the American people, I wonder what the percentage of people that are listening is that actually believe it. Because it's all a bunch of hogwash. Every Monday.
Only a madman.
Yeah. No. I was going to say every Monday before. before the stock market opens, what has he said? Oh, well, I've talked to the leadership of Iran. They're ready to make a deal, and it'll be good for all of us, and blah, blah, blah. Then they turn around 2 hours later. Yeah, we ain't talked to him. We're not talking to anybody in America, nor do we plan to do so. Then Pakistan shows up. Oh, well, we want a ceasefire. They can't negotiate a ceasefire. Pakistan. Anyways, go ahead, bro. It's madness.
He's continually does these things to manipulate the markets. You come out and you make some outrageous statement like you're going to have a mass extinction event of an entire civilization on Easter Sunday and then talk about praise Allah. And then when the market tanks there on a Friday, they short all the oil, his investors, and then miraculously, because the next day after the trading cycle stops, oh yeah, we're actually, you know what, never mind, we're going to do some peace deals now. And then what? The market comes back to normal, at least temporarily, and people are richer and richer and richer. This is all a shell game. It's a Ponzi scheme.
It's the same type of gangster shit he was doing in New York. It's intimidation. It's intimidation and extortion. He's not doing anything any different than when he was putting up these grand buildings in New York in the 1980s, when the mafia ran construction in New York. What did he have to do? He had to go to a powerful person within La Cosa Nostra, sit down with that person, and talk his shit. And he did. And he built big, beautiful buildings back in the night, from the 80s all the way to right now when you hear my voice. This is what this man does. And now he's making his friends, just like you heard my brother say, he's making his friends rich and richer by saying this craziness. So, I mean, he's mad. He's out of his mind, but he ain't stupid. You know what I mean? Because like you said, there'll be some peace on a Monday and everything will correct itself. But by then, I wonder how many of those stocks that it tanked by the opening bell have been bought up.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the Rothschild model. That's what they did. That's what Baron Rothschild did when the Napoleonic Wars, when Napoleon was at Waterloo. He went in there and said, "Hey, man, Napoleon's getting it. The English are getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, Napoleon's stomping us out.
Right, he's stomping us out, and everybody sold their British stock, and he bought them. And then Napoleon,
every mad jack one of them.
Right.
Yeah. And he faced no criminal charges for that, bro. Because by the time it was all over and done with, the British Crown was borrowing money from him. Then we got the bank in the City of London. You have London and the City of London, which are two completely different entities. Just like Washington, D.C., that's completely different and separate from the United States. Just like Vatican City is completely different and separate from Rome. So you have the financial arm in London. You have the military arm in Washington, D.C., the military and judiciary arm, I would say. Then you have, so we got the religious arm, the Vatican City, the military arm in Washington, D.C., and you have the financial arm in the City of London. You have a world, the building blocks of a world system right there.
Yes, we do. I think
that it's going to be rolled out. Yep, it's going to be rolled out here pretty quick, bro.
Well, I mean, they had to make the U.S. Treasury insolvent, it was declared insolvent this week, according to the articles, or last week, I believe it was. I told you. That means we cannot reconcile $40 trillion in debt. Can't do it. Just can't do it. And we've had previous programs. We showed that the purchasing power of the dollar from the time we were children to now has lost all of its effectivity. And it continues to do so. You know yourself, a $20 bill does not buy what a $20 bill did when we were in 1983, 1884.
At all. Yeah, at all.
Hell, the $20 bill don't buy what it did last year at this time. You understand? So, yeah.
I just watched a video before we jumped on here, bro. It was a kid in 1987, and he had a friend with one of those old VHS camcorders. He went into a store with $1 and got like 3 packs of Annihilators, some Hubba Bubba, and a canned Pepsi, all for $1.
Yep.
That's $6 today.
Yeah, I mean, me and Doc was talking about that the other day when she was a kid. You know, she was taking them Roman coins in there, and she could buy, she could buy penny candy. They had penny candy.
Yeah, I remember the old penny candy.
And get it straight out of the little bucket, and you fill up a whole bag for like, you get up a penny is one piece of candy. Not today.
No.
You know,
no, bro, they're doing away with pennies because it's not worth their time to press them anymore. It's not worth the time, the effort, and they don't have the money to do so.
And they're the only coin that happens to have any kind of monetary value outside with just the raw materials because they had some copper in them.
Yep.
Think about it.
So when they get ready to collapse the financial system, you can't have any kind of currency that's worth anything. That's why we went from the gold standard to what we have now.
That's right. That's
why we got rid of Muammar Gaddafi, and that's why we got rid of Saddam Hussein, because the currency that they were going to use to unite the Muslim world and all of Africa, the continent of Africa, was going to be based off the natural resources that could have been found in and around those continents and countries.
Right. Now, there may be in this new system currencies that still exist, but they're all going to be traded on the digital system. And we see this being set up right now. We see it being set up all over the world with all these. Well, the only way to be sure we can stop all this fraud is to make sure we have digital ID, make sure that the currency is traded, online where it's completely secure. You know, you got to scan your right hand or your forehead to make sure it's you, don't you know? All these things are on the horizon, brother. Now they're here. I mean, you got people willfully signing up for Neuralink, getting a chip in your head. I mean, it's absolute insanity. And the Mad King is a perpetrator in all this. His policies in his first term is what set the standards for this stuff. Now we see it now because at that time, as the Apostle Paul said, we're looking through a glass darkly. You couldn't see down the road because you couldn't see past the hope and the hopium that you were hyped up on. I was too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we go from that to the juice boxes calling him the non-juice box messiah. Gold statues of him built in their country. A whole valley.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be Golan Heights, renamed Trump Heights. His construction company going over there to rebuild it. Bro, it's crazy. It sounds like something from some sort of a movie. It's crazy.
And, you know, we were talking off air about something that saddens me. Every time us as American citizens go to the gas pump, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you go to the movie theater, anytime you make a purchase online, some of that money is going to fund through your tax dollars, because everything's taxed. You're taxed on every hand, not just income tax. You're taxed on right out of your paycheck. That money is going to fund genocide in a world. It's going to fund this military industrial complex that is committing horrendous acts of terrorism across the world, all in the name of the Greater Israel Project.
Sacrifices at the feet of Mammon.
That's right. It's getting bad, bro. We saw something yesterday. New York City, where the New York Stock Exchange is at, is getting so bad that the New York Stock Exchange is being moved to Dallas, Texas.
Now they're calling it an expansion, but for those with ears to hear and eyes to see, they're moving to Dallas. Yeah.
Of course.
Why in this current political and economical climate, why would they want to expand? Well, I don't think the economy is that robust to justify an expansion in Dallas. No, they're moving to Dallas.
They're moving to Dallas. And that's because they're escaping Mamdani and all his communist taxes and stuff that he wants to raise on 10% property tax increase on all New Yorkers, people are fleeing. They're just straight fleeing. The wealthy are not going to stand there. They're moving to Palm Beach, brother. They're moving to Texas, to Florida, where they have no income tax. In droves, brother. California, too. People are escaping California in droves as well.
Bro, when I was in Oklahoma, we had that bit. It was right before we met, when I was managing that cigar shop and vape store or whatever. There was the giant influx of people coming from California to escape those taxes. That's when Elon Musk moved down there to Austin, Texas. He uprooted his whole company, and we're seeing these giant exodus. This is all happening at the behest of the beast. These migrations of people, it's all orchestrated. It's so obvious, even though it's kind of hidden in, it's happening because of this, political thing or that economical thing. No, it's by design. It's what it seems like to me.
Sure.
What's really crazy in this whole thing to me, bro, I don't know. I've gone back and forth with the whole Epstein being dead thing. At first I said maybe they got rid of him because he was a loose end. Then I was thinking, why would they do that? Then you find out all the video that we saw of his cell was fake. That wasn't even his cell.
Nope.
That's why these parts were missing, because it was designed to be that way. That's not conjecture. That's fact. We know that now. Then you have this dude. It reminded me of it when you said Palm Beach Pete or whatever, who looks a lot like Epstein. All of a sudden's coming out and flaunting and being drunk, wandering around Palm Beach having fun. How much do you want to bet that that's him after facial reconstruction?
At this point, I don't even know if he'd need it. The crazy is out of the bag, bro. I mean, you got Ghislaine Maxwell walking around in Canada answering to her name when somebody calls her on the street.
Well, they tried to say that was AI. Yeah.
I don't think so, bro, because I'll tell you what wasn't AI is that hideous broad that was testified saying it was her. That wasn't her for sure. We know that.
Yeah, we know that for a fact.
This is.
But I got problems with that too, man. Why would they let her out? If I was Trump, I wouldn't let her out because she's in there. She's protecting her buddies because she thinks that they are still her buddies. I would keep her exactly where she is in this minimal security Texas women's prison where she's petting dogs and she gets to go outside for 6 hours a day or however long it is and fly kites or whatever she's doing down there. I would leave her in that prison. There'd be no way I'd let her out of there.
Let's just do it like this. There's all kinds of competing theories on Ghislaine, Jeffrey. Let's just come to one agreement. The official narrative is a lie.
It's a lie straight from hell. We could have conjecture. We could have conjecture about whatever it is. Yep.
Right.
But what we've been presented is a lie straight from Satan himself.
Yeah, we can pontificate on what the actuality actually is, but the fact that the narrative is a lie tells you everything you need to know. Really. Just like old Tyler Robinson. I'm going to go out on a limb right now. Tyler Robinson will not make it to trial.
Bro, if he doesn't make it, people are going to rip this country apart.
There's no way he makes it to trial.
I don't see how he could, but I think he will.
I don't think he'll make it to trial because he's going to be acquitted if he goes to trial.
Well, he has to be acquitted. They don't have any evidence. There's no evidence that he can. Bro, if I turn up to the police station in Madison, there's a serial killer in Richmond, we found out. If I go to Richmond and say, my name's DeAndre Lamar Doss, and I'm the Jack the Ripper of Richmond, take me away. They're going to say, beat it, creep. Get out of here. They may sit me down and talk to me. They're going to say, okay, what was the details on the first murder? This is the one we have evidence of. what did you do? How did this person die? As soon as whatever I say doesn't coincide with what the evidence they have, they're going to say, take it on the arches, pal. Tell your story walking. Beat it. You're wasting our time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this man didn't kill anybody. I don't even believe he was on that roof. The video that they had of him wasn't him.
That man wasn't even there, probably, most likely.
No. There's evidence that he wasn't.
If the only way this goes and they can keep their narrative and have it buttoned up with a nice little bow is if he does not make it to trial. They got him exactly where he needs to be for that to happen. Jail. Right?
And they were saying that the dad told him to confess. He hadn't confessed to anything. He hasn't confessed. He said he hasn't done it. And the only reason he went is because his dad said, look, they're going to kick in our door. And if you reach, he was smart to turn himself in, because if the riot squad he saved his own life, bro. If they would have went to that house, he would have woke up. If he would have just woke up and opened his eyes and sat up in bed, they would have blasted him, bro. That's what they wanted. They wanted to be an execution. This was the murderer. We killed him as he was getting out to reach for what we thought was a weapon. Done deal, done data, as Steve-O would say.
Yep, done deal, done data. That's right. Yep. That's exactly right, brother. He was the first victim of this conflict, of this war that we're in. An illegal one, by the way, an illegal war, which all wars since World War II has been illegal. If you read the U.S.
But
Constitution,
they don't call them wars, though. They are police actions. They're military police actions and interventions is what they are. Don't you know?
Well, of course they are. But if you turn the news on tonight on CNN, ABC, it's going to say Iran war. Even they call it a war. So how do you have undeclared wars while Congress is down at damn Disneyland or in Sweden or Switzerland, whatever the hell, they went on some kind of retreat and took a 3-week vacation on your money that comes out of your paycheck, by the way. While King Aegon up here is sitting here going batshit crazy in the Oval Office.
He's drunk with power, bro, I think.
That said, it's Jamie Lannister time.
Yep. But I mean, again, he's not a madman where he's sitting in his own diapers. He's got some tactical cunning to himself because he's getting money for him and his rich buddies. Like, he even announced, he said, yeah, we're going to make a lot of money. And when the stock market started sinking, because I mean it's in flux right now because of this war, and it's at the word of the president that it could sink or it could raise. And every time he comes out and says something outlandish like praise Allah and destruction of a civilization, the stock market's sinking. Who do you think's buying all those cheap stocks? Him and his buddies. Then there's a ceasefire and a peace deal. Stock market raises.
Same
at the very end of the day.
Before 9/11, you mean?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, that kind of like that, exactly. So, what we're seeing right now is them mopping up before they decide to shut down the building.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And my brother right here will tell you. I said it last night. Who was the biggest advocate for a positive outcome to come from this? That maybe there was a way that it wouldn't end up. It was me, and you've been pounding this in my head for the better part of, I'd say, 4 or 5 months. That we're not. I'll let you tell them. I told y'all last night. This is what my brother said, and this is what I've come into agreement with as of the past week. By the time we get to our 250th birthday, this country's not going to look anything like it did when we were kids. It doesn't now look like when we were kids, but it's not going to look like it does today.
And I've been saying this at least 7-8 months, I'm guessing, maybe longer. It's been since you've been here. Y'all been here a year.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've been telling
it's been a while. And at first I could reason my way. As things started unfolding, I could still reason my way out of that outcome. But financially, when you got the EU about to make, well, they have made the deal with Iran. This is an oil-based economy. No matter what anybody wants to think about it, it is. And when the petrodollar changes from the American dollar to the Chinese yen, we no longer have the financial advantage that we've had since the 1970s. It's gone overnight. And say when that takes place, say if China invades Taiwan, you've heard me say this before. Say China invades Taiwan, they take over that country. They then, the warmest fuzzy says yuan. Is it yen or yuan? I don't know. I've heard both.
It's the Chinese yuan. The Japanese.
It is the yuan.
Yeah, the yen
Japanese
is
yen, Chinese. I got you. Thank you, the warmest fuzzy. The yuan. Anyways, that's the new petrodollar. I better get used to saying it correctly because it's going to be around for a while. Say that China decides to take over Taiwan, they become the biggest industrial empire on this planet. Everything you see in your kitchen, every toy in your children's room is made where? In Taiwan or China. China takes over Taiwan. I mean, I don't know. UN, thank you. Mormons Fuzz. I appreciate that. I really do. Good looking out.
Yeah, the only reason we're able to even service the debt that we have as a nation is because we have the ability to print currency and because the world's oil is forced to be traded in petrodollars. That's it. And we're the world's reserve currency. If you lose that, we're finished. And then
we're finished as we are right now. We're no longer an empire.
We're David Carradine in Kill Bill at the dinner table with the 5-finger exploding death punch or whatever the hell he had. We're going to take 5 steps and dead on the carpet. That's
the 5-point exploding heart technique.
Yeah, that's it. That's where we're at. He's going to get up, wipe his mouth, wipe the blood out the corner of his mouth, walk off 5 minutes, take his shirt, and boom. That's what we are, where we are. It looks good on the outside, but it's collapsing. Every leg of it's collapsing. We're so fragile, bro.
Bro, we've got another thinking mind in here. The warmest fuzzy says, after that, there's no point to invade.
No.
We're going to start seeing a strategic retreat, I think, within the next 6 weeks. Because it's going to be, I mean, this 2-week window ain't going to add to a hill of beans. It already hasn't. But I think within the next 6 weeks, it's going to have to be in a way that makes it's going to be announced in a way that makes us, or make at least the boomers that are still watching the news, believe that we are the victors. There are no victors. We got to get out of there. That's just all there is to it. They've destroyed our bases around the whole area of conflict, and there's no way we're going to be climbing those mountains to go into that country to fight these people. Remember in World War II, when Adolf Hitler decided to start taking non-strategic military sites, like he wanted to take Stalingrad just because it was called Stalingrad. And he marched his troops across a frozen tundra. They're freezing to death in their foxholes to fight these Russians that are rolling out of their warm beds. Yeah, the Russians stomped their ass off. Of course they did. Because Hitler started doing unnecessary stuff. That's where we're at right now. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff being done. If we were to pull out right now and say we withdraw our support for the juice boxes in this, and we do not recognize Israel as a country, that'll never happen. But if we were to do that right now, nope, it won't happen. But you understand what I'm saying, though.
Sure, that's the only off-ramp.
That's the only fix.
But it's not going to happen. And
it's an off-ramp that don't exist.
I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we will have boots on the ground. You do not move that many chess pieces into the Middle East without using them. This conflict is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all.
It's going to get worse. Until it ceases to be profitable, it will continue. The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yep. But let's not take our eye off the big picture. The big picture is greater Israel. These people are, Israel, the greater Israel. These people want that patch. They want that. They're running around with the patch on there now, which greater Israel takes up, what is it, like 6 countries? Parts of 6 countries?
Yeah, I don't care what the Edomites want.
Oh, you're mute.
No. Can you hear me?
Maybe not. Maybe it's because the call came through. I don't know. I can't hear you, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
There we go.
I'm not
there we go.
showing
There
you.
we go. No, you weren't.
Yeah,
It was, I got a call, and these earbuds are connected to my phone as well.
Yeah, I really don't care what Israel wants.
Trump does.
I think that's the only. Trump does care. Mm-hmm. Yep. They're all like Ike Clinton, a bunch of pimps. They're all in it together.
They're all in it together. You know, China's been awfully quiet. That makes me nervous, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
They follow Sun Tzu. When Sun Tzu
never interfere with your opponent. Yep. Never interfere with your opponent when they're in the midst of destroying themselves. That's exactly right.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Russia's the same way.
Yeah.
They're saying let these people kill each other.
Russia and China are the only winners in this game.
Yeah. You have these emirate countries there in the Middle East that are the big losers, bro. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, all these places who built these little pop-up technological cities off of oil money. They're going away at the dodo, bro. Dubai, that fornication shithole is going out of here, bro.
Well, you know what's crazy? We poured, I think it was $5 trillion. Somebody can look it up and correct me if I'm wrong. During Trump's first term, we poured $5 million into the building of these AI data centers, which are going to be the basis of this new society. These data centers are not making money, yet they're taking up 2% of the world's resources. They're drinking more water than the entirety of the citizens of the state.
Yep.
When I say drinking more water, it's taking more water to power these stations, folks. Like it's serious business, and they're upside down. They're not making money. Yet there's no talk of closing them down. There's no talk of slowing them down.
Only expanding.
And you saw some of the videos that I sent you when I was just messing around at work, just using some of our pictures. AI is out of control, bro.
That one with me and my Christmas hat, or that
it's a trip, isn't it? Yeah, it's a trip. Yeah, but I mean, like that. They built these data centers and they give us these little trinkets and toys to play with like that to say, look how cool this is. You can be an action hero. Meanwhile, they're gathering every last possible perceivable piece of data about us, and they're saving it in these massive data centers to make a digital clone of ourselves, and then they can predict. They're going to make no mistake. All these shows are in this data center. They've already got my personality and my brother's personality down, and they can, within good certainty, predict what we're going to say and what we're going to do in certain situations. They want the totality of control. It's Skynet.
That's common sense. It's Skynet. That's right. And did you watch the Sean Ryan show the other day where he had the robot on there, the same one that was walking down the White House with Melania?
A robot walking with Melania? I guess I've missed a lot then. I don't know what you're talking about at all. Hold on. A robot walking with Melania? Wait a minute. When was this?
Bro, it spoke from the White House. A robot.
A robot.
Look it up. I'm telling you, it's worth
I'm doing it right now.
You will not believe it.
Robot with Melania Trump.
Yep. Well, as you're pulling it up, he had this very same robot. It looks like just like the ones off of iRobot. He said that the owner of this company said they're going to be able to they can produce one robot every 90 minutes. A fully functioning every 90 minutes.
Well, you
They
remember
can
when I pulled up the choreography that those kids were doing over there in China with those?
Yeah.
It was it more technologically advanced than that?
It looked like the same thing to me. But yeah,
Let's see.
it's on. You can see her. It comes out and addresses the nation, and it is Stone Cold leaves her sitting in the damn aisle and walks around the front of the table and starts talking.
Oh snap, bro! That's madness. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Let's see. When did this take place?
It's not been too awful long ago. Matter of days, maybe last week.
Well, you remember what was it? Saudi Arabia that recognized that that one robot, Sophia. They gave her citizenship. Imagine that.
Name that robot after the goddess of wisdom.
Yep. Of course, because of course they did.
The consort of El, one of the lower little G gods on Mount Moon.
The alleged queen of heaven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That video of that robot with Melania was wild.
All right, here, I pulled it up now.
You got it? Okay.
You said you can't believe I haven't seen it?
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen that.
I can't either. Yeah, this is 2 weeks ago. Holy smokes. Well, let me get back over here to you guys and share it. Yeah, this is bananas, bro. Can you hear it? Can you hear it, bro? Audience, could you hear that video?
No.
You couldn't? All right.
But I don't think you hit play. I didn't hear anything.
No. I hit play and let's see. Try that again. Because I want everybody to be able to hear it as well. Also share tab audio. Yep, there we go. What's this song from, bro?
What song?
That sounds so familiar. The song they're playing. What's that song from, audience? Okay, audio was good, William Nighthawk says.
Okay.
Like my machine says, they like robots better than human beings. You better believe it.
Yep.
Somebody tell me what that song's from. It's gonna kill me. Like, Don, is that Peter Pan or that movie Hook? I think that's the movie Hook, bro. Like when Peter Pan starts flying around. Remember when he was a grown man, Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Melania Trump's a smoke show, bro. There's Joe Biden. Walks just like Joe Biden. I think that was a robot.
No, it just Stone Cold music.
It burns off, bro.
It's going hot.
Oh, snap. It's Macron's old lady.
Yeah. You mean his husband?
Yeah. Oh, snap.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House.
Of course, they give her a little white girl's voice.
Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue. Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan. Shagatam. Mogasal mabit. Profimo baim. Laskavo prosimo. Dobrodošli. Thank you.
That's madness, bro. Who are the rest of these women? Like first ladies of different countries?
Yeah.
Where's it going now? It just burns off. That's great, bro.
Going back. Yep.
Look how they're looking at it. It's like, okay. Melania's like, the hell with it. Let's sit down. That's cray, bro. No, I've never seen that.
They basically are doing what every movie since our childhood says don't do. I mean, did we not learn anything from Terminator? Did we not learn
apparently
anything
not.
from iRobot?
Well, I mean, you have Musk with Neuralink. You got these robots that are being created. That every one I see, every video I watch, it seems like it's it's that much more advanced than the last. Joe Becky says that's a goddamn abomination. I agree, Joe. You're right.
Joe Becky, I salute you, sir. I salute you.
Miss Machine says that thing is going to drag us out of our house and end us in the streets when we don't comply. I mean, yeah.
They said they're going to have 1 million units shipped this year. They're making one.
They're going to make
every 90 minutes. So if you go to the Sean Ryan show, he interviews the dude who invented this monstrosity, and he is out there talking to this damn robot with the dude right next to him, and it's giving him a demonstration. It can pick up 40 pounds from the ground like you throwing freight for Coke. It can fold a T-shirt, is something as intricate as that, and has all this crushing power in its hands, and it has live feed cameras in its palms.
Live feed cameras in its palms?
Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
It is insane.
Yeah, bro. That kind of makes me nervous. They're gonna make if they're making these things with such like ease, they're gonna make it so affordable that everybody can get one.
I can just tell
they're probably going to be giving them away they're going to be giving them away as prizes and stuff.
Well, that would be the goal. I mean, you can build your own Gestapo hit squad. You saw the moves that those ones in China was doing. They're like a damn mechanical John Wick.
No kidding. Golly, could you imagine? Could you imagine going up against 1,000 of those things?
Hey, these aren't the droids you're looking for, right?
We're really moving into a very precarious place in this world with this technology and with them trying to introduce this digital currency. Because there's no doubt in my mind, bro. That's my conclusion about all this. They can throw all the religious rhetoric they want in there. They're trying to collapse the dollar around the world and introduce this digital currency. Look at China, who's going to be the real winner in this whole thing. They already have a social credit system. So if Red Pill Preacher and the preacher from the Black Lagoon go raise hell in a grocery store, we're going to drop down on the social credit score, and we won't be able to go to certain concerts or go to the movie theater or to even buy groceries.
That's why Red Pill Preacher has never had Facebook, never had TikTok, never had Snapchat, never had any social media presence whatsoever other than me being on this YouTube show. I don't want them knowing nothing about me.
And that's what I'm going to break mine down to.
My footprint is small, and that's what I encourage everybody else to have, a small digital footprint. Live small.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to be coming after us, bro. Especially Christians that are speaking out. Like, they can call us Christian Nation. They can stand up and say, oh, well, but what the crazy thing is, there's been a lot of executive orders that have been passed to supposedly protect Christianity. But that comes in conjunction with not talking about the juice boxes because it's Judeo-Christianity, you see.
Well, see, it's the Christianity that they want to protect. The Paul Whites of the world. The Joel Osteens of the world. The charismatic movement, if you will. I mean,
Kenneth Copeland.
all these types. the Kenneth Crooklands and all these, the T.D. Jakes, and that Christianity is protected. But real Christianity is the enemy of the world. But Jesus said it. He said, they've hated me first, he said.
So they shall hate you also.
That's
William
right.
Nighthawk says that. I knew that voice sounded familiar. He thought it was the press secretary, Miss Levitz, but it's Erica Kirk's voice. Are you sure? Did you look that up? Is that confirmed? Hold on. That'd be crazy if that's the case.
That whole situation's crazy, bro. That broad. Oh man.
Yeah, we can do the Madness of Erica. Yeah, we can do the 3-part episode of the Madness of Erica Kirk. Miss Machine says gross. Yeah, that is gross. Erica Kirk's a demon, bro. That woman's a straight demon. I've had some exes in my time. Let me tell you. I had some exes probably want to see me dead, but I don't think any of them would have a WWE Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance when I was. You know what I mean? Maybe. Right. I don't know. I don't think so, though.
Right. Well, you see Melania come strolling down there like the Ukrainian hooker. That's what she is, a Ukrainian hooker. Let's be honest here. That's what she was. She met Trump and the first time they had, I know exactly that. She had, the first time they had intercourse was on Epstein's plane. She's a Ukrainian hooker, and the Russians have all the pictures, remember?
Bro, man, what you call it, put that, yeah, you did. What you call it, put that out before anybody did. When Trump started talking trash to Putin over there, he leaked those pictures to the press. You see, Trump didn't say nothing else.
No, he shut up real quick.
But you know what's really crazy, bro, is before the Epstein files dropped, before any of this, Vladimir Putin outlawed Satanism in his country, and during an interview, he said that the satanic, how did he put it? The satanic people that eat children, their day is at an end. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along those lines. And then a handful of months later, here we are. It's crazy in a world where the world we live in right now, where honestly, Putin, Xi Jinping, and the supreme leader of North Korea, look more like the good guys. Look more like the good guys than anybody else. None of them were found in the Epstein files.
No. Man, it's
kind of crazy.
The Mad King is so mad that they're considering the 25th Amendment, and there's almost certainly going to be impeachment files against him. Almost certainly.
Yeah. I just read today a Democratic congressman. Yeah, he filed him today.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
crazy,
just bro. This is a mess. It's a big mess, and it's going to continue to be so. I don't see a short-term end. This is going to be drawn out until at least the end of summer.
I don't think it's going to. I think the Antichrist will put a stop to this war. That's where I think we're at. Honestly, I think this is going to be the war that the Antichrist comes and puts an end to it and declare. That's where I think we're at. I could be wrong. I hope I am. But most likely, I have a tendency to be right on this kind of stuff.
Well, if you are right, according to the Bible, a third of the world's population is going to be dead in an instant. If you're right.
This is going to be a massive loss of life. It's already been a massive loss of life. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah. Folks, all I can do is implore you to look at alternative forms of media. Try to find somebody's social media posts that live in these countries where this stuff is taking place, because they're the only boots on the ground where the information's getting out. And pray over your family. Pray for your family. Pray for your friends. Pray for your neighborhood. Every day without cease. Because it's going to start getting ooky spooky. It already is.
That's right. Yep, sure is, brother.
All right, brother, we're at our hour. Folks, we sincerely appreciate y'all coming to join us. Join us tomorrow night when it'll be part 3 of the madness of King Trump. And we'll throw a little bit more information y'all's way. This is a fun one. God bless each and every last one of y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all take care.
Although it is being used online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew. It is being used in a context very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online code word. Christ is King is, I hate the Jew.
Is that your view, or why do you say that?
Because you see the people who are saying it, and they're saying it in that context. They're saying Jews are horrible, good, like they're attacking Jews, and they end with Christ is King. To make it sound like somehow there's a biblical basis for attacking Jews.
Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is God.